What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ. I'm welcome y'all back to another episode of Pure Quality Canine. Out here with the dogs right now, y'all. But today's video is going to be specifically about one dog, y'all, and that's that boy Lucky over there, man. Y'all, we almost had a scare this morning, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. We almost lost Lucky, y'all. We almost lost him, and it's my fault. I'm not gonna say partially. It's my fault, but at the same time, too. Let me explain what happened. Y'all, it's Saturday morning, so I wake up this morning, and I might have had been up or anything, but Lucky it got to barking, y'all. Lucky it got to barking, and I'm the type of person where I don't too much worry about the barking, because the way my house is set up, y'all, my room is the furthest towards the back. So when they get to barking, y'all, I'm gonna hear it first. It done got to the point where when these dogs are barking, I done kind of went to the front of the house where everybody else's rooms are. You don't hear. Where I am, y'all, it's a significantly loud noise. So with that being said, y'all, I try to be mindful of my neighbors, y'all. Be mindful of my neighbors, y'all, especially early in the morning, because I just know sometimes how it can be, y'all, with a dog barking, you trying to sleep in. That's where my mind be at a lot of times. Not so much me and my family and what it might be bothering us, is how everybody else might be taking it. So y'all, I got up, y'all. I got up, and something I don't like doing, but I grabbed his bark collar, y'all. This collar right here, and I put it on that boy. And I'm sad to say that when I did it, y'all, I was maybe did it with a little anger inside my heart. And that was the wrong way to come out here. With that being said, y'all, I put it on too tight. So anyways, I go back in the house, and I'm up. Scoop and Layla's in the room with me, and I'm kind of just sitting around. And after a while, it might have been a couple hours, I start hearing this girl Onyx, y'all. Onyx is barking like crazy. Onyx is barking like crazy, y'all. So, you know, I already thought about earlier where I had to put a bark collar on Lucky. So I'm thinking, man, what is this girl out here barking? Ain't nothing going on. So I shoot out here, y'all, with another collar, ready to put it on her. Not knowing, y'all, the reason she was barking, man, I really believe wholeheartedly in my heart, she was alerting me to what was going on with Lucky. So I come out here, y'all, not even thinking about Lucky, mind set on her while she's barking, and all of a sudden, y'all, I hear some deep coughing, y'all. I hear deep coughing, and not even coughing, y'all, like a dog's trying to suffer to breathe. So I look over here, y'all, Lucky's just standing up in the middle of this cage, y'all, and man, I can't even explain just the sound, y'all. You could tell this boy was fighting for air. So I shoot to the cage real quick, and the crazy thing is, after I came back out here, y'all, like I said, it'd been a couple hours. Scoop and Layla was out here, y'all, so I actually had to grab Scoop first when I first seen him and take him in the house, put him back in my room. So I came out here, went in that cage, got that boy Lucky, y'all, took the collar off of him and shot him over here to my water hose. Turned on the water hose, y'all, and I'm just wetting them down. Wetting them down every blue moon. I might spray some in his mouth just so he can get some down his throat, y'all, but I'm just rubbing on him. Spraying pretty much around his neck, under his stomach, y'all. Just trying to cool him down, y'all, because y'all know it was a hot day, man. It was almost 95 degrees today, if not more. So I'm trying to cool this boy down. The whole time I'm sitting here doing it, y'all, I'm worried, y'all. I'm worried that this boy, come here, come on. Y'all, I'm worried at any time, man. Like, I'm saddened in my heart, so I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? You know you got to do better, man. Dog, that collar was too tight on him. At the same time, too, y'all, I'm worried that, you know, he's trying to catch his breathing, y'all, but it's real hoarse. He couldn't catch no breath, and I'm thinking, man, this boy falls over. It's Saturday. What betting I'm gonna take him to, and even to that point, y'all, if he didn't or couldn't breathe, could I even save him? You know what I mean? Could he be saved? So lucky enough, y'all, this big boy, this big strong boy right here, y'all, like I say, I tried to cool him down as much as I can, y'all. When his breathing got a little bit better, I went ahead and took him in the house, y'all. Y'all know I got extra kennels in the house, and let him chill most of the day, y'all. Actually, this is his first time out here right now. He's been in the house all day, y'all. But y'all, I was wrong. I was wrong in one, you know, a lot of times, y'all, I don't like using things like bark calls and things of that nature. But at the same time too, y'all, I do it. And that's kind of the reason of this video too, and why I do it, y'all. Like I said, the barking doesn't bother me and my family too much, but at the same time, it does bother, I would think, my neighbors. But this is the thing about that, y'all. You know, we want to be mindful, we want to be respectful of each other, but at the same time too, y'all, we got to be realistic with the world we live in. At the end of the day, man, I got a real good neighborhood. I'm not a bad neighbor to have. At most, if anything, they might say something. I might have too many cars in my garage, in my yard, or at the same time too, the dogs barking. That's the worst you can say about me. For some people that might be enough, you know. For people like that, you got programs like the HOA, y'all, that's going to keep, you know, everything to a T, y'all, a certain level. But for the most part, if you live anywhere in the United States or anywhere in the world, y'all, there's all different types of neighbors you might have to deal and put up with, you know. Like I say, the most my neighbors can say is, you know, sometimes I got a lot of cars in my yard, or at the same time too, my dogs get to barking. There's some of y'all out there, y'all might know of people that can't even hang out on their steps or their stoop, you know what I mean? Because there's trouble out there. There's people shooting, there's people robbing. At the same time too, you got some people that live in neighborhoods where they just don't get along with their neighbor, you know what I mean? So words are passed, you know what I mean, when y'all see each other. There's some people that, like I say, they blast music all day, or they're always throwing parties, or always got a lot of company. There's some people that, you know, you might live next to somebody that they ain't necessarily bad, but their kids, their teenagers, or the friends they bring by, you got to watch them, y'all, because they're looking at your property, and, you know, things coming up missing here and there. That's one thing my neighbors ain't got to worry about, you know, definitely not coming from me. So with that being said, we got to be realistic. This is what I feel as a person, especially like someone like me as a homeowner. You know, be mindful of your neighbor, at the same time too, understand that when they moved into your neighborhood, when they moved next to you, they bought into whatever comes with it, y'all. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, a lot of times we bail down and we try to do things and go overboard to please the next man, when at the end of the day it's hurting ourselves. You know, these are dogs right here, I understand that. I don't put them at the same pedestal as people, but these are my family. You know what I mean? So what do I look like trying to quiet them down in their own home? You know what I mean? Because like I say, at the end of the day, that could be a bad thing, but at the end of the day, in the world we live in, that could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? I remember at one time, recent story, I was just watching about this lady from the South. She had moved to California, right? And she had moved to East LA, y'all, and she didn't know that. And East LA was predominantly Mexican neighborhood, y'all. So this was a black lady coming from the South, not knowing. I think she was from Mississippi or Alabama. Got a good deal on the home, y'all. Her first week there, y'all, they done burned her car and burned her out, y'all. Pretty much ran her out the neighborhood. That's just, and that just came to my head, something I seen recently. Not pointing at nobody, but that's just a small thing that a lot of people are dealing with out here. You know what I mean? So there comes a point where you got to stop bending over backwards, y'all. You know what I mean? And live your life, and there's whatever comes with it, man. Especially when you know you're not intentionally trying to hurt people. This house where I stay at, y'all, I've been here for 8 years, 9 years now. When I first moved here, there was another family that stayed next door to us. Y'all know Molly's still in heat, y'all. That's why, I mean, Jay's still in heat. He's about tired of damn Lucky, man. You know, he outside the fence and can't get to her. He tired of her. But anyway, we were here about 8, 9 years ago, y'all. There was a different family that stayed next door right there. First time meeting the older gentleman next door, y'all. He comes like in the middle way between his house and my house, and he tells me this is a quiet neighborhood, y'all. He doesn't introduce himself, doesn't ask my name or anything. He says this is a quiet neighborhood. Now, in them years, until I got my own dog, y'all, we didn't have no big dogs, y'all. So we didn't have nothing barking. They had a small dog, y'all. For the first 3-4 years living here, me and my kids, we couldn't come out in this backyard right here because we didn't have these privacy fences up. We just had a regular chain link fence, y'all. We couldn't come out here without their dogs barking at us non-stop. I mean, it would not stop. From the time we came out here till we had to go in the house, that dog was going to sit there and bark at us. Sometimes they would be out there, would never say nothing about that dog. Neighbor behind me here, y'all, I ain't gonna say they're as bad, but for years, like I say, when we had a privacy fence, their dog, they let them out, you know what I mean? Their dog, they let them out, he run to the fence, y'all, steadily barking at us, you know what I mean? I believe there was a few times, you know, they would call them back, but still, neighbors behind here, y'all, they got about 4 or 5 dogs. They sitting on a nice piece of land where their home's to the front. So their dogs got to come almost through a little wooden area to get to our back fence, y'all. 4 or 5 dogs, y'all, be running back and forth barking. I don't know if they ever thought about what maybe that was doing to us, y'all, but at the end of the day, they never changed their ways or their habits, y'all. Never, not once. We just put up with it. Like I say, man, because at the end of the day, there could be worse situations to live in than dogs barking. So I say all that to say this, y'all. If dogs are your family members, you know, you got to be mindful of the law. In some places, y'all, you know, I believe it might be like a 15 or 30 minute rule. Like if a dog is barking 15 or 30 minutes straight, that's when the police can do something about it, y'all, because it's almost a nuisance then. But for the most part, a dog barking here and there, even for 30 seconds, y'all. In 30 seconds, if a dog barking is found, can feel like 5 minutes, y'all, especially if it's 2, 3 in the morning. That's no reason to call the police. And at the end of the same time, too, y'all, that might not necessarily be a reason for you to put anything that's going to physically hurt your dog just because it might help someone else, y'all. Just because it might help someone else, y'all. And I know a lot of people might look at it different ways. Oh, you shouldn't have dogs, you shouldn't have barking. Like I say, man, we've been staying here about 8 years now, y'all. I think I got about $80,000 left to pay on this house, y'all. It'll be paid off. This is my home, y'all. This is my home, and a lot of times, especially as a black man, y'all, big, and that's easily, people are easily sometimes fearful of, y'all. I've caught myself over years going out of the way, y'all, to not seem so much as a threat, y'all, but to my own. But at the end of the day, it didn't do nothing for me, you know what I mean? And it's just like with these homes and what we try to put our dogs and the limits we put on them, y'all, just to make other people feel better. But at the end of the day, sometimes it hurts us. Sometimes it makes it harder for us to be dog lovers and breeders. At the same time, too, y'all, it can hurt your dog, y'all. There is situations, y'all, and circumstances where you will need things like this, man. But for my situation, y'all, you know, I'm not in the city limits, y'all. I'm out in the county, the country. At any given time, y'all, there's dogs all over this neighborhood barking. At the same time, too, y'all, there's people going by, cars, motorcycles. There's gonna be noise, y'all. That's something that we're gonna have to deal with wherever you may be. You know what I mean? There's some people that live below or above train stations, y'all, are near airports. Yeah, dog barking a little bit, man. Think about it. Just think about that, man. Like I say, if you know if your dog's really a nuisance, then you need to do something, y'all. But at the same time, too, 30 seconds here and there, a minute here and there, the dog's barking and cutting up, y'all. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to hurt nobody. And a lot of times, it's not necessarily the reason to put something like that on this, y'all. That's going to hurt them, to shock them. And at the same time, too, if you don't put it on right, y'all, can limit their breathing, y'all. Especially in this weather like this. I know the next couple of days out here was 95 today, y'all. We're supposed to hit 100 degrees in the next couple of days, y'all. Be careful, y'all. My dogs will definitely not have nothing around their necks like this at all. Cause I couldn't live with that, y'all. I would have been, if something would have happened to this boy right here, y'all, this video would have been a little bit different, y'all. Would have been a whole lot of crying. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. And I know it, y'all, and I don't even want to think about the situation, because I know, you know, as dog owners, man, there's gonna come a day when, you know, our babies, they're gonna leave us for some reason or the other, y'all. And sometimes it hurts even more, and the pain stings even longer, y'all, when these dogs been with you 10, 15 years, y'all. That's a long time to take care of somebody, y'all. To have a companion that never gonna let you down, is never gonna mistrust you, is never gonna talk down on you, man. Man, the wonderful things of these dogs, y'all. So let's do better by them, y'all. This is, if anything, this video is just a cautionary note to just think about it, y'all. Something to think about, man. For the things that we do for our dogs, like I say, to please the next person, y'all. Because at the end of the day, would they do the same for you, and at the same time too, would they put that same limitation on their dog? You know what I mean? Or like I say, man, if you decide to get a dog, understand what comes with it, and people at the same time too in the day got to know when they move next to someone with dogs, what's gonna come with that, y'all. One thing I might, if they ever said something out of the way, something about my job, y'all, they allow us, man. They're real big on safety. If you ever need earplugs, they say, man, take as many as you want. You know what I mean? So something I might do this Christmas, y'all, hit everybody in the neighborhood, you know what I mean, with a couple pack of earplugs, you know what I mean, with the family or something like that, man. Might order it off the store, you know what I mean? Because like I say, I'm mindful, y'all. I hate to bother people, but at the same time too, I can't put limitations on my dog and what I'm trying to do for somebody that's not going to do the same for me, and at the same time too, that's somebody that should understand, man. That's what life's come with, y'all. It ain't easy. It ain't peaches and cream. If you want to live in a life, in a world where nobody's bothering you, and you want to be secluded, y'all, there's plenty of plots where you can find 10 to 15 acres, y'all, and put your house right there in the middle, man. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna hear nothing. You know what I mean? Gate that thing up, y'all. You can live how you want to live. But no matter where you live in this world, one of the reasons I'll never grow up and live in apartments, y'all. I grew up living in apartments. When you move into apartments, y'all, especially you might live somewhere where, you know, a lot of our apartments were 2 downstairs, 2 upstairs, or 8 room, or 8, you know what I mean? 8 or 12 or whatever it might be, y'all. You take on everything what else going on in that neighborhood, y'all. You take on that. You know that. When you move in there, the family next door fighting, with the kids down the street, you know, they like stealing stuff. If you got that old man always at the end of the steps begging, that's what you're going to have to deal with. You know what I mean? That's what you're going to have to deal with. And everybody's situation differently, y'all. But at the end of the day, you know, live your life, y'all. Live your life. Don't let nobody dictate it. At the same time, too, don't do it where for somebody when it's going to hurt your dogs, y'all. If it's to that point right there, if you care that much, you know, get rid of your dogs. Find someone for them, y'all, so they can bark, y'all, so they can live freely, so they can be dogs. But this right here, y'all, this ain't it. With that being said, man, I don't want to hold y'all too much longer. Y'all know I don't start with them, I always want to finish with them, man. Make sure y'all hitting that like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so y'all don't miss nothing we got going on. It's starting to cool down, y'all. I got some laid quarters and some cut up chicken meat in the house, y'all. I'm about to pull that box out here. Get Layla a scoop out here, feed the dogs for the night, man. Hope everybody have a good Saturday night, y'all. We'll be back Sunday, man. If not for a live video, y'all, we'll have another long form and some short, y'all. We're gonna give y'all something about these dogs, man, because we care a lot about them, and we hope y'all grow to care about them too. That being said, we'll catch y'all next time. We out.